The world today is dominated by technology. Our lives run on technology. The notifications, the screens, and the digital distractions that we have in our life take away a whole lot of fun out of it and also build a lot of stress. And so, the concept whether technology can help us lead a tranquil lifestyle. And what does it really mean in real estate development? Home is a place where we seek serenity. Home is a place where we want quietness, where we want our own time. Does home provide us all those opportunities today, where in spite of all this invasion of technology in our life, we are able to lead a tranquil lifestyle? What are some of the things that can be done? How is technology today helping architects, interior designers, engineers, developers build better homes, homes which are designed for better quality of living, with green spaces, with uh, meditation areas, with whole lot of other amenities which will help us lead a better quality of life. This is what we're going to discuss today. Namaskar, you're watching this new episode of The Property Show on MBTV, world's largest real estate channel. Today, the topic that we're going to discuss is very interesting: how technology is going to help us get better homes, which will give us a better quality of tranquil lifestyle, a serene lifestyle. And to discuss this, I have got a stellar panel with me. Let me start with introduction of the panel. I've got Mr. Satish NK, who is Chief Operating Officer of NBR Group, which is a leading Bengaluru-based real estate developer. We have got Mr. Nijish Nair, who is the CEO and founder of Swasthya Living. Swasthya Living is an eco-conscious second home community. We have Mr. Gautam Tiwari, who is co-founder of Trezi, which is a tech-driven real estate solutioning firm. Welcome, gentlemen. Interesting topic. I'm sure it's going to be very informative for our users as well, because this is a topic that gets rarely discussed around. How technology can help us build better products in real estate, provide better solutions, which can give end users a better lifestyle, a far better quality of life. Right. So let's start with you, Gautam. What kind of technology are you seeing around, and how do you think technology actually can help us build better homes, better quality homes, so that end consumers have better life and lifestyle?
First and foremost, thanks for having me here. And like you've already established, it's a very interesting topic of discussion this afternoon. So, me personally, I finished my architecture late 90s. So 1997 is when I finished my architectural studies. Then I went ahead and did my master's in construction management. And I come from a time where AutoCAD was just surfacing. So AutoCAD was still largely in its DOS avatar at that point in time. Turn of the millennium, it went into the Windows mode, and newer technology interventions started really happening at that particular point in time. And what I mean by that is, it was more the 3D pipeline, the BIM-based pipeline started emerging. And so I'll address the question that you have posed with me from that particular perspective, that how the technology has changed over the decades and where does it stand today for it to make a truly meaningful sort of an impact, because like I said, 1997, 98, there was one inflection point where the drawing board was actually rapidly disappearing. Drawing board on which we were actually trained to become architects. The computer kind of made its presence felt, so much so that by the turn of the millennium, there were practically no drawing boards left. Just a few handful of them today in the world, right? And today, as we kind of stand at this particular point in time where immersive technologies have surfaced and already matured. It's been 5-6 years since VR and AR is being spoken about. AI is everywhere. And I personally believe that we are at another point of inflection where the whole process of design consumption, design delivery, project delivery is going to now start to see a very, very different sort of a shape. And what I really mean by that is, I think the struggles that the construction industry at large, which includes design as well, is that the pre-design or design phase, even pre-construction phase, largely has been a very design professional or a construction professional owned sort of a phase of a project. And very rarely does the end user, the occupier of the building, get to make any meaningful sort of an impact at that particular stage, because they are not really understanding what the design intent is about. We are trained to think in the Z axis, the end user is not. So as a result, what happens is when the construction phase really comes in, that is where the real mayhem in our industry starts, because people suddenly start to see the physicality of the designs that they have actually been imagining all this while. And then things are like, this is too large, this is too small, this is not the color, this is just change this, break this block, bring in another one. And that's where the inefficiencies in the industry also come in, the typical cost based overruns and the time based overruns that we are notorious for as an industry. So I think this is where the technology is going to make the biggest impact. From I think largely last I think 2016 2017 onward, the end user has become a far more contributing and an informed stakeholder in the process, and the process of overall project delivery is going to start getting a lot more efficient because of the advent of new tech.
Okay, all right. Satish, let me take this question to you from a developer's point of view. How do you see these technologies that we are talking about, that Gautam spoke about, and how, at the architectural design stage itself, the very concepts are getting developed, which are around sustainable lifestyle, which are around green living, and so on and so forth. How do you see this as a developer? How much do you think this is a practical solution which is on the table, or is it something which is still a concept and yet to be translated in India?
Good afternoon, one and all. Thank you for inviting us for the media, TV, and other things. See, as you said, and as Mr. Gautam also said, the technology is very much required today's world, because we will call it as a Google Dunya or AI Dunya when we are sitting with a customer or when we are sitting with anyone. Because today, end of the day, what we are constructing is for the customers. End users are always customers. And since it is a Google Dunya and everything, the customer will do everything in the Google and everything, and they will check what is the latest technology, what are the technologies we'll use it for the build. See, I can say from our MBR perspective, or even many of the builders, 90% of the builders are using today what they were doing the conventional method earlier. They are now using the aluminum formwork, I can say, and even in the, I can say, technology based or even architect based, everything is very much advanced, where, see, we can construct a building not like earlier. Before the era, it was there like every project is to complete in 8 to 10 years kind of a thing, and almost, I can say, minimum 5 plus years. Because now we are using the latest technology and everything, and using the technologies not only in the construction as well as from the preliminary, stating from taking the drawings, architect, everything. We are constructing the project within 3 years and handing over to the customers, and we are providing not efficiently, and as well as not only in the construction as well as in the sales also, like MBTV or whoever it may be today. It is very much required to everyone to present in everywhere, to make ourselves presentable to the customers, and we should talk about our project everywhere, making use of the technologies. And it is not like just giving a what I can say, like brochure, and say the customer you go through that and book it. It is not possible today. We have to show them everything, like one mock-up flat. We have to show them my interiors, everything, and how the living room comes, how we are building the walls, how we are giving the amenities, what are the amenities, and we have to show videos, we have to show miniatures, all those things we have to give it to them. Then customer will feel that yes, it is good. We can spend the money on this. That's where we require the technology. It is helping a lot us.
So basically, use of technology is helping you build products which customers also appreciate, and they are willing to pay for it. Let me come to you, Nijesh. Social living is a concept, right? It's about eco-conscious living, and you are building a second home community in that fashion. How has technology helped you deliver value? When it comes to eco-conscious living.
For us, primarily technology, we are leveraging big time, like Gautam said, in terms of the whole end-to-end integration from a development standpoint of a cottage, right? I mean, our lands are basically based in the outskirts where the contours are a bit tricky. So, and given the fact that we primarily, I mean, our expertise is in building sustainable cottages. There are a lot of questions, a lot of ifs and buts in terms of, the durability, the design, right? So smaller things, for example, what we did is we got a small 3D printer. We could, like, print a small 3D replica of the house, right? That would come over there. We'll have the land piece, will get it, we'll have it 3D printed so that they could see the contour, because that's something a lot of people really don't understand, when we pitch in a specific designs. So small thing, but massive impact, right? Like a pitch without showing them a 3D house versus a pitch with a 3D house, significant difference where people are able to visualize, people are able to connect, right? So yes, significant impact of technology, but otherwise, as a brand, as a motto, what we're trying to do is primarily, bring in the wisdom of the past and, trying to integrate it, with the modern lifestyle, right? So for instance, we have we have a biogas plant there right now. It's something, I'm sure, like most of our ancestors back then had it, right? But you don't find that these days. Now what we have done there is, it's something, it's basically backed by solar, so that it's ignited by solar, so it's kind of a hybrid model. And we have been using it for the last 3 months. The amount of gas we are saving is insane, and at the same time, massive recycling. Right? It's a project where we have cows. We have 6 cows. We have 16,000 trees there. So we get a lot of dry leaves. A lot of waste, which is again leveraged in the project.
Okay.
So for us, technology is not just AI, and we are also trying to integrate a lot of things that used to be, I mean, you can call it the so-called technology of, like 50 years
No,
before.
I do recall biogas as a concept. At least about 3 4 decades ago, government used to push it very hard because that was seen as a sustainable energy generation, proposition at a village level or at a community level, and that's also technology at the end of the day, of course. Yeah. So, Gautam, I wanted to take this to you and understand when it comes to designing architectural designs, right? How has technology helped the architectural design evolve into designing better products now? Right, there is, I mean, each architect has its own philosophy, and there's a certain concept on which the designs are done. But how has technology helped to enhance the overall product itself, so that end consumers get benefited out of that?
I think the past decade and a half, or maybe a couple of decades, let's put it past 2 decades, have seen a lot more meaningful advancements and interjections that have surfaced for the architect to make a, how do I put this one, make the end user a more informed part of the entire process. And I have said it a few times already, and I'm saying it again, I know. But the reality is, we have been extremely guilty as a community, as architects. We've been extremely guilty of continuing to build our designs with very little respect towards the end user, who's either spending the top dollar to procure our designs in the parlance of project delivery, or even who, I mean, or as basic as the person who is going to, or a family that's going to inhabit the space that we are actually creating for them. So I think one of the biggest interventions that have surfaced is basically moving away from that static world in which a lot is left to imagination. Now, why do I say a lot is left to imagination? Because I will sell you a picture, and I can sell you a picture. As I'm trained to do that as a professional. My storytelling skills are such as when I finish my course of architecture, I am actually feeling the way I want to feel about my particular design, but that may not be necessarily true for you. You need to actually experience the space that you are eventually going to be a part of. And why just you? I mean, even us, there are times when we know there are nooks and corners in our design and spaces that are not totally resolved, So if I was to go in and see it in a particular manner and experience it, not just see it, experience is the word I want to use here. That is what is actually going to make the big difference. And it is certainly making the difference now. So as we talk to more and more customers of Trez, we show them what we are doing and what we have done, as how we have moved away from that traditional photographic sort of a design pitch to actually making a person walk his or her home or an office or a plane or a yacht for that matter that they are actually going to eventually be inside of. That is what has actually started changing. And then there is the collaboration side. We have always required physical co-location as a large project team. We don't do a project as one or two architects. We have large project teams that are required to deliver projects. And larger the project, more complex the project teams. Now, with the advent of building information modeling and immersive tools like I have been speaking about, all that the physical co-location is actually seeing less relevance now, and you can actually digitally collaborate on digital twins before. So you basically can actually make virtual mistakes before you really go onto the site and make the real ones. So that's where the technology, the big shift in technology has happened from
But
static.
is it helping you design different as well? Right? I mean, spaces being used in a different way, giving more open spaces to end users. Is it helping in that
Yes,
sense?
absolutely is. There are. I remember one of the first few days. I mean, we never started really as a product company. We kind of pivoted in between. We started as a very services oriented VR solutions company, and then as we raised capital, our investors kind of suggested that we kind of democratize the use of the technology that we were creating and created a product. And I remember 2018, 2019, when we were just going out and ideating, and not just ideating. I think the first version of the product .8, as we called it, Resi back then, 2018, was when we went to an architect who was actually who specialized in master planning. So we pulled in a part of a master plan that they were actually developing, and the team walked a neighborhood and decided that a block was not necessarily the right in the right place, and a more open space was required. So that we realized our journey that the intervention that we are talking about can actually is not just about a table or an interior space, though we had started ideating from that particular space. The implementation actually happens even at an urban scale. And that's where the technology has moved since then. It's been 7 years now, so it's done 364 times over since then.
Sure. Satish, what kind of technology-led interventions you are doing in your construction or in your developments that you are doing, which is which is leading to sustainability, lower carbon footprint, more green spaces for end users, or some new concepts? What are some of the things that you are doing?
See, we are coming up with a project in of Sarjapur Road, Gunjur. So where we are incorporating Gaia philosophy, which is more related to the customers, which is like earth, air, water, and space and everything.
The five
Where,
elements.
it is a completely eco-friendly. Today, what is happening? I can just give an example. Today, there is a long weekend and everything. Like all the customer wants to go to a resort, kind of living, and I think they wanted to have a fresh air, fresh mindset, and I think to come back to the work on Monday or something like that. If you provide that kind of a space in our apartment, kind of a thing, it will be the customer will definitely like those things. That is what we are developing in our project. It is a completely eco-friendly, and we are implementing all the Gaia philosophy of earth, water, air, fire, air, space, and everything. And we are giving more than 88% of the open space and complete landscape, everything. And as the technology is the main shuttering and everything. And the thing is, see, we have a project where we don't have a nearby any high-rise building and a kind of a thing. And also we have lake behind our project and things which will help us to give the cross ventilation always, and which will give us more light, sunlight, and other things. And also customer will feel like it is a resort. So that's what we are giving now.
Okay.
With the use of technologies and things. And also not only this one, and also for customer we are doing virtual tours, and we are giving the e-documentation. Like earlier we used to give a book set, complete booklet of the legal and everything. Now we are sending the e-documentation, all those things which will help us the customer to send it to their lawyers, get it done with it frequent, immediately, all those things, saving the time. Because as a builder, we always have to respect customer time and money. So to respect the time, that to save the time and to give the more value to the customer money and other things, we have to make use of these technologies.
Okay. Okay.
And what we have to deliver is always what customer like.
Hmm. All right. Nijesh, while we understand the perspective that you have as a as a concept that you have looked at and the concept that you have developed, I wanted to understand consumers' perspective. The investors in your project, the buyers, what are the kind of feedbacks that you get? What are the kind of requirements they have? What do they think of the concept, and why do they buy into such a concept?
Sure. So today, basically, people are not just looking at, to escape the city life, right? They are also looking at it as a way to reconnect with themselves, with the families, with nature, right? So, one of the key highlights of the project, and one of the key highlights is the fact that the project is situated in a place where you're surrounded by lush greenery, right? So 40 acres of land itself has 16,000 trees. The first thing that we did in the project was we created man-made lakes. Like we have combined 6-acre lake, 40 feet deep, right? So the way we pitch is we don't tell that, hey, look, we have a project, these are the amenities, so no, we don't do that. We don't sell it in a typical real estate way. Our way of pitching is, why don't you come stay? So we have built 4 cottages using eco-friendly materials. We have a full-fledged hospitality staff. We have a fully functional kitchen garden. So whatever you consume there is grown in the farm, right from some of the spices. For example, the turmeric or chili powder is grinded in a using stones in the old traditional way. So we use, and these are the things that it's very very tough to pitch or to explain, right? You have to like truly experience it. So for us,
What do consumers have to say when they experience this, when they'll have a look around? What are some of the voices that you capture from them?
well, I think the most important and the most common thing that I've really heard is our stress levels have gone down. Uh, and there's a lot of me time that they get. The screen times usually go down, and it's not because we don't have Wi-Fi. I mean, the network is good. We have a fully functional Wi-Fi, but it's just that it's a different vibe, right? I mean, I had a customer who came from Delhi, basically stays in one of the most affluent DLF properties there, and he was supposed to be here just for a night. Came along with his friend who was a customer. Ended up extending his trip for 3 nights, and he said, Nijesh, I had the most peaceful sleep in my life. I feel like, right. He's a guy who has 3 phones. The second day he turned off his phone. Right. And he's like, look, this is not something that I anticipated when I came, right? But I just feel like coming back here with my family, and he did, apparently became a customer, right? So like I said, it's something, this is one of the most common things that we hear. For a lot of family also, the other thing is, for their kids, right? I mean, for a lot of them, they don't have right now the native places. It's like most families have moved here, so they want to give the childhood experience to their kids that they went, right? Like feeling with, it's basically playing with mud, plucking fruits. Those are the things. Those are luxuries right now, right? Given that we live in city. So we have a lot of young parents who have bought plots with us, and they, I mean, for them the primary motive is to give that lifestyle to their kids.
That's very interesting. Okay, let me come to you, Gautam. You spoke about while a lot of concepts get kind of designed at on the architecture table, but when it comes to actual execution of that is when there's a lot of changes that happen in those plans, and not the entire concept the way it is envisaged gets translated in final physical development. Are you seeing a change? Because Satish was talking about how they as a developer are now looking at providing a better lifestyle and a resort like living experience, etc., in the project itself. So developers are opening up to this idea of better quality product and offering better amenities, offering better facilities, offering better quality of life overall, and consumers are willing to pay for it. Do you see this change happening across when you're dealing with different clients?
Yes, and no. I mean, yes, because yeah, the overall ecosystem is now understanding and appreciating the necessity of the change that is required in the overall mindset. And no, because I do not think that the change is being adopted at the pace that it should be. The reality is that we are a humongous ecosystem. We are overall globally an 11 trillion dollar large ecosystem, the AEC industry put together, and typically averse to change, very averse to new tech adoption. And it's going to take a massive effort on all fronts for us to actually make a significant, not forget significant, actually meaningful impact, I would say. So yes, there is awareness. Yes, we are talking about one RERA came and gave the kick that, listen, what you are going to be committing is what you better deliver. It's no joke anymore. So suddenly the entire real estate community actually got extremely serious about the fact that, listen, what we are promising to the customer, we must deliver that too. And then started the entire scampering around for, hey, what is the technology that is going to help our customers actually understand, and not just help our customers understand, help us do a better job our own selves. So yes, there is certainly a change that has come about, but I think we are still way far from the actual levels that we should be eventually operating at.
So there's a lot of scope of adopting technology, and there's a lot of scope of looking at design in a different way as such in India, right? So I just want to jump onto some of the future trends that are emerging, and what is happening across the globe. What are some of the concepts that are there that we are yet to see coming here? What are some of the new technologies which are playing an important role in terms of conceptualization of a project, design of a project, and architectural thinking around it? What are some of those?
So, I still remember 2017 in the US and in the Middle East, where we were actually creating solutions for developers and builders to actually go to a complete digital twin way of selling their eventual real estate. So we have had customers in Chicago, in Dubai, who actually just totally went away from stage apartments that they typically used to sell real estate with. They used new emerging. I mean, that time it was still emerging technology. Today, VR, AR are almost like we are in the second or the third wave of VR and AR now. So people even back then had actually globally adopted the power of this technology to help their eventual buyers walk through the space that they were eventually going to be a part of, and do away with this physical show flats, sample flats, physical products, and the digital twins were kind of making their presence felt at that particular point in time. It has globally only matured ever since. Now through with the advent of AI, what kind of spaces are being looked at, what kind of spaces are being bought more, what are the kind of spaces that attract a home buyer, or even a development in terms of where does it get located, and what are the kind of locations that get sold more. All that level of intelligence has come into the real estate planning and selling overseas. I think we are extremely basic in India still. We are taking some small steps at this particular point in time, but I don't think we are even anywhere close to what things were at the 2017 2018 stage back then.
Okay, so a lot of these new concepts, new technologies, you see yet to kind of come to India. But given the leap that we have been taking across technology spectrum on every side, do you think it's before any time that a lot of these things will start coming to India, and especially because the luxury end of the real estate and the premium end of the real estate is they're actually doing really well.
Yes, it is, and I think more or less the thing is around. You said right, the luxury side segment of the industry is doing well right now because of the affordability factors, right? Where what they generate as a premium is what they put into their selling effort upfront. So we are an extremely price conscious market. We must appreciate that. There is no point in creating a technology based intervention that is not going to sell eventually, because technology should come at a price where it delivers value for each and every stakeholder in the
And is
ecosystem.
affordable as well. Yes.
Yeah, and I think we've reached that point. It is not what it used to be, from whether it is headsets or high-end GPUs, whatever is required to work and operate with the with AI-based interventions, or for that matter, even high-end virtual content. All the technology has now come into the affordable bracket, over a period of time. So I think there is certainly more understanding of what needs to get done, but it's still sort of start and stop. I think it's going to take another 5 years before it becomes uniform and all encompassing in its application.
Satish, a lot of developers today use AR, VR, and 3D project walkthroughs, and use technology really to take consumers through the project and visualize the project in a far better manner, right? In fact, the days of building a sample flat, etc., is also getting over very fast because technology is helping developers, help consumers visualize the product really well and therefore take a meaningful decision. What are some of these things you are using and you see being used around you in the sector that is helping you sell? Because the point Gautam is making is, while we can get technology, it does not necessarily no guarantee of selling, right? So what are some of these things that you are thinking is selling actually and helping sell?
Sir, we are giving, I can say, a touch TV where a customer can go and pick his own unit and see what is the floor plan, how it comes, look and file. Even see what happens when we do the model pack. We'll do the model pack for one unit, even though we have six different units. So what happens in the miniature, they can visualize how the building will come and nothing, but they cannot visualize how the carpet area will be, how the living room, how the bedroom, how much big it will be, all those things. So for that, we are providing this one TV where they can go and pick the particular unit, and that unit floor plan will come and it will have a 3D visualization and all those things, and 360 virtual tour about not only the complete project, even the flat, even the complete floor, everything, which will help us a customer to make his decision faster. And also with the technology, what we are using is also like we'll share that to the customer, where we'll provide the OTP access, where customer can share it to the I can show it to them, and I think that which will help them to come for the booking in the next visit. So what happens otherwise? Earlier, like customers used to bring their families, bringing them to show the model flat and think that how it will come and other things. Since because of the technology and 360-degree view, 3D view, all those things, and touch screen, everything, customer can go and assuming that if he wants a 14 floor for one series, he can just go on. The floor plan will come out and 3D model will come out, and he can visualize how big it will be, all those things. So which will help us in both the ways. So for us also as well as the customers.
So in your experience, these technology led tools are helping you convert better and faster?
Yeah, it is helping us convert faster. Not only convert faster, I can say, see, sales always, I'll say in a different way. We are not here to sell the product. We are here to convince the customer and give him what he wants. The thing is, see, which gives more confidence to the customer. Instead of we selling our product, we just explain our product, which helps a customer to take the decision faster. Instead of just pushing for the sale, other things, we can explain them faster.
Nijesh, you have envisaged a concept which emphasizes on eco-friendly and eco-conscious living. Uh, what does it really mean in an era of technology? Does it really mean going away from technology, or does it really mean using technology in the right amount, in the smartest possible way within the project itself, so that your overall life quality, is of a certain standard, and your lifestyle get enhanced? How do you see this?
Yeah, so for us, it's the right blend of, basically adopting modern technologies, but that's built on top of the foundation of traditional knowledge. I'll put it that way. So, for instance, we tried, we tried a VR experience, AR experience initially, for the customers to experience it without visiting, given the fact that our projects are like typically placed 200 kilometers away. But then we realized, they're not able to connect to what we feel, right? I mean, it's basically, like Satish said, it's true in terms of apartment or a villa because you can easily visualize. But our concept itself is new. So in our projects, it's more than house, right? It's about the nature, it's about the ecosystem in and around. Suppose that we decided, we would insist for a customer to visit, right? And for us, the key challenge is making them visit. Once they visit, once they understand, we bring in a lot of technology. For example, like I said, any uh, given that it's agree, we don't convert. You can construct on 10% of the, I mean, the construction has to be done on 10% of the land. So if on a 10,000 square feet plot, you can construct on 1,000 square feet. Now, with the help of 3D printing, like we basically create a miniature of the land and the house, and we show them the placement, right? Why at X location? Why not Y, right? Otherwise, which is very tricky to explain to a customer, where you.
But at the end of the day, not all customers can visit, right? Not everyone can come and stay and therefore experience, therefore buy. I'm sure technology in some way will help you reach out to a larger number of audiences who might be looking at these kind of solutions but are unable to personally experience it in many ways.
Technology can definitely, like I said, they can, but we as an entity have, basically in the top of the funnel, we try to stay away from technology. Because like I said, we are into, we're building an eco-conscious community, which is something you cannot feel virtually. You have to be present. But once like post the top of the funnel, we use a lot of technology in, basically in certain things, like basically, to give you one example is, basically regenerating like the fertility of the soil, right? We use a lot of technologies. So these are basically like primarily done in such a way that we blend the old traditional approach with data backed models, right? So a lot of data is captured, and based on it, we try to integrate by using the old traditional techniques.
Okay. And um, what is the role of a lot of technologies which are widely applied now in real estate, at least like IoT based technologies for security solutions, or technologies for convenience, connected homes, and so on and so forth. Do you think in a eco-conscious environment or in eco-conscious living concept, these technology can actually enhance the overall experience and lifestyle?
Uh, like I said, the middle and the bottom of the funnel, we are already implementing it. So, for instance, we have smart switches, IoT based, technology for all the cottages. We have around 200 cameras in the farm. It's all AI based. So the moment there is any movement at night, it triggers a screenshot to all of us. The same is applicable for, a lot of other, like in basically in poly houses that we have set up. We use a lot of technology in which the data is also being captured. So like I said, in the bottom of the funnel, we are trying to implement tech as much as possible by ensuring that it's built on top of the traditional practices.
So here it is, viewers. The experts have given their verdict. Technology is helping in many ways in building of eco-conscious, sustainable homes and sustainable products, which you can enjoy. And using technology, you will be able to lead a far better quality of life in a well-planned environment. We'll keep bringing to you such interesting topics with our expert panels. Keep watching MBTV and don't forget to like, share, and comment.